You know, in John 17 too, the Gospel of John, Jesus said because he was a partaker of flesh and blood, that the Father gave him authority over all flesh. And we need to understand what he's saying, because the first man, Adam, sold us all under sin and all became sinners. That's what Paul was describing in Romans 7:14, that we were carnal, fleshly, sold under sin. That law of sin that was in our flesh that held our minds prisoners to sin. That's what he's describing in Romans 7:23. But then Paul describes Jesus as the second man, the last Adam, who was made a life-giving spirit in 1 Corinthians 15:36 and then 15:45 through 47. I mean, we need to understand the truth, because man was planted on this earth in a natural state, as Paul describes in 1 Corinthians 15:45 through 47. To prepare to, as in 1 Corinthians 15, Paul calls the first man, Adam, a figure of him who was to come, talking about Jesus, the Christ, the Son of God. You know, if people would just stop perverting the truth and running off crazy and half-cocked with a lie, they could come to the knowledge of the truth that makes us free. I mean, this is what Jesus is saying in John chapter 8, verses 31 through 36. If you're truly my disciples, you will remain in my word, my sayings, my teachings. And if you do remain in my word, you will know the truth, and the truth will make you free. When you're free, you're not just kind of free. And the Jews thought he was talking about servitude to man, but Jesus said, he who commits sin is the servant of sin, the slave of sin. And a servant doesn't remain in the house forever, but a son does. But whoever these sons shall make free shall be made free indeed. I mean, this is what Paul was describing in Romans chapter 6. He who is dead is freed from sin. Verse 14, sin shall no longer have dominion over you, for you're no longer under the law, but under God's grace that is in Christ. As John said of Jesus, by the law came by Moses, but grace and truth came by Jesus Christ.